Inclusion Ireland presents a guide to rights and pathways for housing and supported independent living. This video is a guide to taking the first steps. You might find it useful if you are a person with intellectual disability, a family member, or a supporter. It is part of a series of 3 videos, which also includes a guide to filling the application form for social housing support and obtaining all the items on the application checklist. You can find them in the housing section of our website.
The first steps on your journey are often the most difficult. It's sometimes hard to know where to go or who to ask for help when we need to. Change, making decisions about our lives, or doing something new can be scary for all of us. We've discovered that there are certain things that lots of people find more difficult than others. We've created this series of videos to help you with that.
Every person has a right to live where they want and with who they want to live with. In fact, your right to do this is protected by the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which our government has committed to stand by. Most important for this video are Articles 9 and 19, which protect your rights to live independently and be included in your community, with any supports needed for you to participate as fully as you want or need to.
This means that whenever government departments or the public bodies within them write policies, they make sure to include all of the points or articles that are written in the Convention. For example, our health service, the HSE, created a plan or framework to guide people when they are creating person-centred plans for people with intellectual disabilities. It is called New Directions. Every support provider will have their own way of supporting you to create your person-centred plan. But no matter which way they do it, the HSE says that a good plan will always include
choice, empowerment, and independence.
So, you should be supported to take control of your life, and your views should be respected. You should be supported to communicate your choices and make decisions based on your own will and preference, so that you can participate fully in your community, make friends, and have new experiences. Everyone has support needs, but not everybody has the same support needs. A good plan and support package should represent you.
If you decide that you would like to change your living situation, then you can talk to somebody you trust for support. If this is in the disability service that supports you, it might be your key worker. You can add it to your person-centred plan as a goal to work towards. Or perhaps you might like the support of a family member or friend to get the process started. You can always ask a family member or friend to be with you when you talk to your key worker. What would a good life include for you? What kind of living arrangement would you like? You could live on your own, or you might like to share with other people. Maybe you have friends that you would like to live with. You could share with people who also have disabilities, or people who don't. Or perhaps you would like to live with family, or choose to live with another family. Maybe you already live with family and would like to stay there, but would prefer to choose outside supporters. Think about the things that you'd like to do. Which things would you like to do by yourself? Which things might you need support on? Some things you may not know how to do now, but you might be able to learn how to do them. Goals you want to set might be practical, like cooking, cleaning, managing your money, or shopping. They can also be about how you want to live your life, including things like education, friends, well-being, and employment. Think about the steps that you can take to get you to these goals. These could be things like taking a course or picking out people who can help you. Ask your key worker about this. You can also check out services in your community by visiting your Citizens Information Office, your local Family Resource Centre, and your local Education and Training Board.
It's your plan and your support package. Your plan should be looked at over time so that you can see what is or isn't working and make changes if you want to. You can add supports or take away as your needs or wants change or as different things become available.
If you can't afford to pay for housing by yourself, you can apply for social housing supports. It's very important that as soon as you know that you want to apply for this, that you begin your application. Assessment and the waiting list both take quite a long time. Any supports you may need will also take time so that you get the supports and the people that you want. You will first need to fill out the Social Housing Supports application form. You can get your application form from your local housing authority. You will find these at your county or city council offices, and the form will look like this. And it will have the logo of the local authority area that you live in. See, this one here is for Dublin City Council. Filling the form takes some time, and you have to include quite a lot of information. You may prefer to ask somebody you trust to help you to fill the form, or you can ask a housing officer at the local authority, the customer service unit there, or the Citizens Information Centre. We've created a video to help you fill in the form, and you can find this on the housing section of our website. So, who can apply for social housing supports? You can apply if you cannot afford to pay for your own place to live. And you can only apply to the authority where you live now or where you have a local connection. You can get social housing support from your local authority or another type of agency called an approved housing body. These provide housing for groups of people. The disability service that you are connected to might be an approved housing body. There are different types of social housing supports. For example, people may rent houses or apartments from the local authority or an approved housing body, or rent a house or apartment through schemes such as the Rental Accommodation Scheme, RAS, and the Housing Assistance Payment Scheme, HAP. Some other options available include the Improvement Works in Lieu scheme, or IWILS, and the Wheelchair Livable option. This is where you may want to stay living in the house you are in, but to do so would require that certain changes or additions were made to it. Write your answers clearly and take your time. Be sure to answer all of the questions on the application form. You need to include all of the information asked for, or your application cannot move forward. If a question doesn't apply to you, just put the letters NA. There's a handy checklist included with the application form, so you can make sure that you have included all of the right documents needed. Your local authority will make sure that all of your information is stored safely in line with European data regulations. Now this bit is really important. You may be contacted again later for more information, so be sure to always respond to any letters or emails from your local authority. You may want to ask somebody you trust to support you with this. If you don't reply when the local authority contacts you or send on the information requested, this can lead to you being removed from the waiting list for social housing support. It is important to take a copy of any information sent to or from your local authority. Photocopy letters or save to your computer. If you have a person you trust supporting you with this, you may also want to ask them to keep copies in a secure place for you as a backup. It is best to hand your completed application form to the local authority in person. This way, they can go through your form and make sure that you have answered everything that you need to. They will also check that you have everything you need on the checklist. For a handy guide to the checklist, you can check out our other video simply called The Checklist.
While we are aware that there are many guidance documents and policies written about housing, supported independent living, decongregation and person-centred planning, they are not always implemented or interpreted in the same way. Here at Inclusion Ireland, we try to make sure that people with intellectual disabilities have accessible information about their rights, both at an Irish level and at an international level, under the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. If you have concerns about your right to live where, with whom, and how you choose, then please get in touch and we can guide you to services that can support you.
For more information about housing and supported independent living, check out the housing section on our website. You can find it at www.inclusionireland.ie/housing. Inclusion Ireland works towards the full inclusion of people with intellectual disabilities by supporting people to have their voices heard and advocating for rights under the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. This is also known as the UNCRPD. If you'd like to know more about our work, you can find us on our website at www.inclusionireland.ie. Or why don't you check us out on our social media? You'll find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you found this video useful, head on over to our YouTube channel, click like and subscribe to keep informed about new content and join our movement for change.